Hello everyone, adventurers of virtual worlds. Welcome to your go-to update for the latest sizzling news on MMOs and multiplayer games. Today we're diving into the latest updates shaking up our favorite virtual worlds, from epic patches and announcements that have the community buzzing to maybe even a few surprises. In this video, for the main news, I'll cover World of Warcraft Midnight, Lost Isle, the First Descendant, Time Takers, Where Winds Meet, and Elite Dangerous. For the quick news segment, we've got Mongil Stardive, Jump Space, Limit Zero Breakers, Guild Wars 2, and Legend of Ymir. If you enjoy the video, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, it's always appreciated. Now that we know the lineup, I think it's time to jump into the news. Publisher NetEase Games and developer Everstone have announced the release date for the free-to-play game Where Winds Meet. The international version of the game will launch on November 14th, 2025 for PC and PlayStation 5. I specify our version because the game has already been available in China since late December 2024. In its home country, Where Winds Meet is also available on mobile, but the release date for the mobile version of the international edition has not yet been announced. Where Winds Meet is an action RPG and open-world adventure game deeply rooted in the Wuxia legacy. Set in the turbulent 10th century China, you play as a young swordmaster, uncovering forgotten truths and the mysteries of your own identity. As the wind blows through mountains and rivers, your legend will rise. In Where Winds Meet, the world is dynamic, evolving based on time, weather conditions, and player choices. Cities, shrines, and wild expanses are filled with mysteries and opportunities to explore. The world features thousands of points of interest across 20 distinct regions. Freedom of movement is central to the experience, blending parkour unique techniques and fluid traversal to navigate vast territories. The combat system allows for deep customization, with players wielding weapons like swords, spears, blades, or even fans, alongside mystical techniques to craft unique strategies. Progression encompasses not only martial skills, but also social elements, such as joining factions, mastering professions, or engaging in political intrigue. Where Winds Meet offers an immersive solo adventure as well as a multiplayer mode where players can form guilds, participate in raids, or face off in epic confrontations. According to the game's Steam page, Where Winds Meet delivers over 150 hours of rich, narrative-driven adventure. You can experience this journey with up to 3 other players, making a total of 4 by sharing your world or joining a friend. You can find links to the game's Steam and Epic Games store pages in the info bar if you're interested. Time Takers is a new free-to-play multiplayer third-person shooter developed by Mistel Games and published by NCSoft. For now, the game is announced for PC via Steam, with no release date disclosed yet. In this team-based game, time is a critical resource used to unlock and upgrade abilities, revive teammates, or survive on an ever-changing battlefield. Every decision, whether to boost abilities immediately or conserve resources, impacts the match's outcome. Unlike traditional shooters, Time Takers offers extensive freedom by allowing players to customize their playstyle through a choice of weapons and passive abilities, transforming how each unique character is played. Team composition and coordination are crucial for turning the tide of a match. The right combination of abilities, weapons, and timing can shift the momentum of a game and make the difference between victory and defeat. While a release date hasn't been announced, it's possible to request access for a future test phase. I couldn't find information about when this test phase will begin. If you want to request access to the playtest, the process is simple. Visit the game's Steam page and click the button to request playtest access. You can find the link to the game's Steam page in the info bar if you're interested. This week, the South Korean company Nexon, and more specifically its game The First Descendant, is facing a minor scandal online. In recent days, players have noticed something odd in the advertisements for The First Descendant on TikTok. The videos feature AI-generated streamers commenting in a somewhat robotic manner on the game's new content. Their generic appearance, strange movements, and awkward pronunciation tipped off many that these were AI-created avatars rather than real influencers. These fake personas in the ads claim that The First Descendant is the most popular shooting RPG in the world, which is not true. Among the fake streamers, one bears a striking resemblance to a real streamer, Daniel the Demon. He reacted by stating that the videos have nothing to do with him, claiming his image was used without permission. He explained, quoting, "I have no affiliation or contract with The First Descendant. They stole my face and reactions from my most viral video and used AI to alter what my mouth says with a voice that isn't mine. I did not consent to my image being used." Reactions on the official The First Descendant Reddit have been swift and overwhelmingly negative. Many criticize Nexon's decision to rely on artificial intelligence instead of investing in real influencers. It's worth noting that Nexon is one of Asia's largest gaming companies with more than enough resources to conduct authentic campaigns with human creators. Moreover, Nexon has a content creator program that includes actual The First Descendant players. For some in the community, these ads are more likely to harm the game's reputation than promote it. Some players say that if they had seen these ads before playing, they would have thought the game was fake, suspecting it to be a scam, virus, or phishing attempt. Some players also report that the team managing the First Descendant's TikTok account deletes comments from people calling out the ads. They allegedly take down the ads when they receive too much backlash, only to re-upload them later. Here's an update to my text as Nexon has finally responded. The company stated that it will strengthen its advertising and marketing review processes, including additional review steps with its development team to ensure such issues do not happen again. Nexon commits to significantly improving its evaluation practices and has issued an apology for the disappointment and inconvenience caused by this incident. Frontier Developments has released a new content update for Elite Dangerous players on August 19th named Vanguards. This patch appears to mark a significant turning point for the game, introducing a major overhaul of the squadron system and adding new features designed to enhance the social aspect of the gaming experience. With Vanguards, squadrons now align more closely with the guild concept found in MMOs, offering advanced tools to coordinate activities, customize group identity, and share resources. Notable additions include a new squadron management interface featuring an internal bulletin board, an update feed, and a personal status section, providing access to all the new functionalities. There's also a flexible hierarchy system with up to 15 ranks and customizable permissions set by the leader. The game introduces customizable logos and decals, which can also be applied to members' ships. Additionally, a perks system offers permanent bonuses and extra advantages in systems controlled by the affiliated faction, such as boosts to mining profits or increased team rewards. One of the most exciting new features is the introduction of squadron fleet carriers, which are larger and more versatile than individual carriers. These are designed to accommodate more ships and support large-scale collective operations with shared costs and profits. To support this, a squadron bank system allows players to deposit and withdraw credits, ships, and resources. There's also a revamped ranking system that rewards both large groups and smaller, highly active ones by factoring in the average activity of the top-performing group members, making it accessible even for smaller guilds. I won't delve too deeply into the details since I'm not an Elite Dangerous player and want to avoid sharing inaccurate information by going too far into specifics. My main goal is to inform you that a new update is available for the game with a focus on multiplayer gameplay. For more information, I've included a link to the official website in the info bar, where you can find further details about this new free update. Wunder Entertainment Studio is currently developing a new game called Lost Isle. This same studio will also publish the game. Lost Isle is a multiplayer survival game featuring a procedurally generated open world. The release is scheduled for the third quarter of this year on Steam, and I should note that it will be an early access launch. Lost Isle is a magical island marked by a divine conflict where the sacred and the profane intertwine. The death of a god has given rise to new forms of life, new resources, and new mysteries, constantly transforming the island. Despite its dangers, the island offers immense opportunities, perhaps even the chance to become a god, as mortal forces, armed with swords, arrows, and gunpowder, converge on the island to seize its divine power. You too feel its call. Well, that was a quick summary of the game's story. Lost Isle is a world of infinite possibilities where mortal weapons face a magical apocalypse that warps the laws of nature. Explore ancient forests harboring horrors and ruins filled with forbidden secrets. Each game server, time-limited and procedurally generated, offers a unique experience with varied challenges and opportunities. Players can explore the island and its dungeons, craft items, ally with others, or compete to dominate. The choice of approach is entirely up to you. In-game, players will start with a simple blade and must survive on a hostile island through dynamic PvE and brutal PvP combat. The stamina-based combat system includes attacks, blocks, dodges, and parries. You'll also be able to use muskets and explosives. Trailers for the game also show that magic will be present. You can customize your explorer with a skill system focused on combat, exploration, or crafting. You'll also need to build shelters or fortresses using a flexible building system. Survive, thrive, but beware. Other players can attack you to steal your resources. Returning to the servers in Lost Isle, each server has a limited lifespan, and with each reset, a new procedurally generated world is created, offering new challenges and opportunities. Each cycle is a unique experience to dominate the island or explore its complex systems. You can embark on the adventure solo or with friends to tackle PvE challenges, then face other players in PvP. PvP. According to the game's Steam page, servers will support up to 200 players. The studio will hold a short testing phase from August 28th to 30th. If you're interested, you can find the link to the game's Steam page in the info bar. During the opening night of Gamescom 2025, Blizzard unveiled the next expansion for its MMORPG World of Warcraft titled Midnight, set for release in 2026. On the Midnight pre-order page, it is stated that the expansion is scheduled for release in the first half of 2026. In Midnight, the threat emerges from the void, with Xal'atath poised to unleash her power on Azeroth, plunging the world into chaos and darkness. The adventure will take players up to level 90 across 4 new zones. The journey is enriched by the introduction of the Haranir, a new allied race. These inhabitants of pristine forests can be recruited as adventure companions and chosen as a new playable race for both the Alliance and the Horde. The Haranir can play as druid, warrior, hunter, rogue, priest, mage, warlock, monk, or shaman. Midnight will also introduce one of the most anticipated features for fans: housing. For the first time, players can own and customize a home in a residential district, furnish it, and participate in community initiatives to enhance the immersive experience. On the gameplay front, a new hunting system called Prey turns the experience into a cat-and-mouse game. Players must track deadly targets across the world while staying vigilant, as they could become the hunted. Other additions include class updates, such as a new specialization for demon hunters, enabling them to dominate the void and fight at range with unique abilities stolen from enemies. This specialization offers a fresh playstyle, expanding the role and capabilities of demon hunters in combat. For the first time, players can also fight as Void Elf demon hunters in Midnight. The expansion will feature high-level challenges with 8 new dungeons and 3 epic raids, pitting players against 9 new bosses. Delve's return, enriched with new adventures and the presence of Valera Sanguinar, who will fight alongside players. For PvP, Midnight introduces the Murderous Hill battlefield, a massive 40 versus 40 scenario set in the Netherstorm. Here, factions will clash in a battle of conquest and resistance, with dynamic objectives ensuring a fast-paced and unpredictable experience. Blizzard has also considered players returning after a long break or those new to Azeroth, revamping the progression experience with a clearer narrative structure to guide everyone toward Midnight's central events. The expansion is already available for pre-order on PC via Battle.net for €49.99 for the base edition, which includes both Midnight and The War Within, along with bonuses like a level 80 boost and early access to housing. Blizzard also offers a Heroic Edition for €69.99 and an Epic Edition for €89.99. with the higher tier editions providing additional bonuses. The Epic Edition, for instance, guarantees access to the Midnight Beta, 30 days of subscription time, and 3 days of early access to the expansion. You can find the link to the Midnight pre-order page in the info bar, where you can easily compare the different editions. Alright, it's time to dive into our quick news segment. Yes, this is the part of the video where we run through various updates on different games, getting straight to the point. To start, let's quickly talk about Mongil Stardive, a game developed and published by Netmarble. I should note that I still haven't found official confirmation about whether or not it includes multiplayer. Netmarble has announced the opening of pre-registrations for the global version of Mongil Stardive. You can sign up on the official website if you're interested. As usual, pre-registering will grant you rewards when the game launches. The release is expected this year, 2025, on PC and mobile. If you want to pre-register, you'll find the link to the official Mongil Stardive website in the info bar. Alright, let's move on to another piece of news, this time about the game Jump Space, developed and published by Keepsake Games. Just to clarify, Jump Space is the new name for what was previously called Jump Ship. The game is described as a cooperative PvE shooter for 1 to 4 players, alternating between missions aboard a spaceship, ground exploration, and spacewalks. The news this week is that we now have a release date. It's coming in early access, I should note, and Jump Space will launch on September 19th on PC via Steam and on Xbox Series consoles. The game's price and the duration of the early access period haven't been revealed yet as of writing this update. If you're interested, you'll find the link to the game's Steam page in the info bar. Let's move on to Limit Zero Breakers, a title developed by Vicky Game Studios and published by NCSoft. The news about this game this week is brief. It's simply a no name for the game. Previously it was called Breakers the World, so Limit Zero Breakers is the new title. It's described as an action RPG with an anime-style aesthetic developed for PC and mobile platforms. The release date hasn't been announced yet. We do know the game will be showcased at the Tokyo Game Show 2025, happening from September 25th to 28th. Perhaps the release date will be revealed then. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Limit Zero Breakers will indeed feature cooperative gameplay. Now let's talk about Guild Wars 2, an MMORPG developed by ArenaNet. I wanted to remind you that until August 27th, you can test all the new elite specializations coming in the next expansion, Visions of Eternity, completely for free. Even though the expansion doesn't launch until October 28th, ArenaNet is letting players try out all the elite specializations now. Even free-to-play account holders can access them. I won't go into the details of all the upcoming elite specializations since we've already covered them in previous videos on the YouTube channel. This week I just wanted to remind you that you can test these new specializations now. Let's keep going with Legend of Ymir, an MMO developed by the South Korean company WeMade. The game is built using Unreal Engine 5 and is aimed at PC and mobile platforms. It's free to play but also play to earn, meaning it includes cryptocurrency and NFT elements. The South Korean version of Legend of Ymir, which I played briefly, does feature auto-combat functionalities. I assume the international version will be similar. Anyway, the news this week is that pre-registrations for the international version of Legend of Ymir are now open. If you're interested, you can pre-register on the game's official website, which you'll find linked in the info bar. The official release date hasn't been announced yet, but we know the game is set to launch before the end of this year. And that's it, we've now reached the end of this video dedicated to the latest news on MMOs and multiplayer games. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it, so if you did, don't hesitate to give it a little thumbs up or even leave a comment, because yes, it's always appreciated. If you just subscribed to the channel during this video, know that I'm thrilled to welcome you among us. If you were already subscribed, well, in that case, thank you for your loyalty. Alright, it's time for us to part ways, so I wish you all fantastic gaming sessions no matter which game you play, because the most important thing here is to have fun.